Welcome and blessed solstice time. We gather here to celebrate the solstice. And joining me are members of the Circle Sanctuary community from across the USA. Welcome to all of you who are joining us live. And welcome to all of you who are joining us later. We invite you to share where you're from in the chat to YouTube and some of your comments and some of your own ways of celebrating solstice as you feel moved to do so. Into this sacred solstice circle, I welcome you all. And I now invite those who are part of presentations tonight to introduce themselves. And we'll begin with Chris, who is doing our tech. And I think sound will return soon.
You're right. I'm Chris Eldridge. I am running tech, and I've been part of the solstice celebrations for a good long time. So I enjoy being here.
And I invite Reverend Judith.
Good evening.
To share.
Good evening. I'm Reverend Judith, and I'm calling in from Chicago, Illinois. Welcome, everyone.
And welcome to Meredith.
Greetings and welcome. I'm calling in from the Northwoods of Wisconsin, and I'm an interfaith minister and have been a member of Circle Sanctuary since 2016.
Welcome, and welcome, Reverend Jerry.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Reverend Jerry, and I'm calling in from the coastal regions of Massachusetts. And I've been a part of Circle Sanctuary since 1992 and serve as the President Emerita of the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans.
Great to have you here. And welcome to Marin.
Thank you, Selena. Happy solstice, everyone. I'm Marin King, and I am in North Central Florida, USA.
And welcome to Dia.
Thank you. I'm Dia. I'm in the North Georgia Mountains, and this is my first year doing this, and I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful. And welcome to Becky.
Hi, I'm Becky, and I'm calling in from Madison, Wisconsin, and I'm blessed that I live very close to Circle Sanctuary.
Oh, great. And Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve Curtin. I'm calling in from the western edge of the Detroit, Michigan suburbs, and I actually grew up on a farm about 2 hills over from Circle Sanctuary.
That is great. And welcome to Lori.
Good evening, all. I'm Lori. I have been part of the solstice celebrations for 22 years now. I'm normally in central Wisconsin. This is the first year that finds me on the longest night in southern Florida on the Atlantic coast. It's a little weird, but I'm getting used to it.
Good to have you with us again. And welcome to Reverend Andrew.
Yes, good to be here. My name is Andrew Bear, and I live very near the Pacific Ocean, near the Monterey Bay coastline. And I enjoy celebrating this darkest night in darkness. And I have lights on now, so you can see me. And I also want to say it's extra special meaning to celebrate it with this community. So good to be here.
Oh, wonderful. And welcome to Reverend Shar.
Hello, everyone. Happy solstice. I live with Reverend Andrew, and we're representing the West Coast. So I'm also here in the Monterey Bay of California, a very special place. And I'm really proud to be and pleased to be part of Circle Sanctuary's expansive ministry beyond the regional center in Wisconsin, because we have ministers and ministries all over the country, and enjoy participating in Reverend Judith's Full Moon Circles every month, as well as our Green Faith Ministry and the Blue Marble Podcast monthly. Great to be here with you all.
It's great to have you. And Reverend Dr. Dennis.
Good evening and hello. I'm Dennis Carpenter, and I'm coming to you from the Circle Sanctuary Temple Room. And behind me, you will see some Yule decorations from our winter solstice celebration here this past Saturday. I live next door to Circle Sanctuary in a place called Oak Haven with my wife, Selena Fox.
Well, and it's good to have you all here. I'm Selena Fox, and I am delighted to be able to celebrate winter solstice, not only with all of our presenters here tonight, but with all of you. I invite you now in the next few moments to prepare to be part of our solstice circle. I'm going to play a singing bowl, and as I do so, I invite you to connect with the sacred by whatever name or forms or concepts that you are most aligned with. We connect with the sacred circle. We connect with the sacred directions. Sacred north, sacred east, sacred south, sacred west. That which is below the land, the place where we are at, each of us in our own way, and planet Earth, our home, beneath us. Above us, we connect with the heavens, the cosmos, and the sacred sun, and this longest night. In the center, we connect with spirit. We connect with the elements, sacred earth, sacred air, sacred fire, sacred water, sacred spirit. We are from many traditions and ways of being. We also connect with those who have gone before, each of us in our own traditions. We honor the ancient ones, the ancestors, spiritual teachers. Those who have kept solstice in the past, come, bring that wisdom and tradition in good ways for us tonight and in the time to come. And we connect with the spirits and ancient ones of the places where we are at. We honor those sacred forces. And we connect with the community of celebrants of winter solstice by many names. Those who are celebrating Yule, those who are celebrating midwinter, winter solstice tonight, those in the southern hemisphere who are celebrating midsummer, summer solstice, Litha tonight. We connect with the humans that are part of Yuletide celebrations and celebrations of solstice in its many forms. I invite you to envision a circle of light around us as I do this chant. A circle of light around you being part of a much greater circle of light that's not only all of us taking part now, but an even larger circle of light of all those who are practicing and connecting with solstice and other holidays, sacred times, known by other names at this time. Circle of light, circle of sound, circle of solstice, circle around, circle of light, circle of sound, circle of solstice, circle around, circle of light, circle of sound, circle of solstice, circle around. So be it.
Hi, I'm Dennis, and I invite you to settle into the place that you're in right now, making whatever adjustments you need to be comfortable and to be able to focus more fully on the activities to follow. Connect with your body more deeply for a few moments by focusing on your breath. Focus on your breath as it's naturally occurring for you right here and now. Connect with this group of us gathered by taking a few deep breaths together, breathing a bit more deeply and slightly extending the out breath as we breathe together. Now focus on the points of contact supporting your body, your feet, your seat, your back, the points of contact. And as you breathe deeply, settle into those points of contact. Take up more space where you're sitting. Be more relaxed and at ease. And feel that settling. Think deeper now into the earth beneath you. Feeling that connection with the earth beneath you and with nature all around you. Feel this energy of winter solstice time, the longest night, darkness. Settle in to the peace and tranquility of the darkness and the energy of this time. Remembering too the light of the sun, connecting with that, and connecting with the divine light within. So sense that light of the sun, that light within you as we enter into this longest night, and welcome the rebirth of light. Blessed be.
Entering into the longest night, entering into rebirth of light, entering into the longest night, entering into rebirth of light, entering into the longest night, entering into rebirth of light, entering into the longest night, entering into rebirth of light. Circle of spirit, circle of light, come make magic in solstice right.
The Shortest Day. It's a poem by Susan Cooper. So the shortest day came and the year died, and everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees, and they hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. All echoes sing the same delight, this shortest day. As promise wakens in the sleeping land, they carol, feast, and give thanks, and dearly love their friends and hope for peace. And so do we, here, now, this year, and every year. Welcome, Yule.
I now invite all of the presenters here tonight to light a candle on this darkest night of the year and raise it to the coming lengthening days of light as we welcome in the new year on this winter solstice night. Let us light a candle flame when we feel the darkness falling. Let us light a candle flame when we hear the Spirit calling. We place it on the altar. We bless the holy night. The whisper brings us back to the sacred center of the light. So reach for the stars, glowing candles high above. They sing in our hearts, song of joy, song of peace, song of love. As we gaze into the candle flame, then the stillness will surround us. We will know the deeper name of the power that has found us. The goddess is within us, all around us and everywhere. She blesses us in the four directions, water, earth, fire, and air. So reach for the stars, glowing candles high above. They sing in our hearts, song of joy, song of peace, song of love. Let us keep the flame alive, share the light with one another. Let us help the flame survive. It will bring us all together. We banish indecision. We light the flame within. Illuminate our vision. Bring us to ourselves again. So reach for the stars, glowing candles high above. They sing in our hearts, song of joy, song of peace, song of love. As we light our candle flames, the flame we share shines everywhere. Jerry?
Good evening, everyone. So I've always had this curiosity when I was a little girl about where all of our holidays came from. I grew up with them in a very Christianized context, like many of us did. And then I started discovering things. So tonight in the Northern Hemisphere at 10:27, so about 2 hours from now, Eastern Time, winter solstice begins. The dark time of year will fade as the light of the sun incrementally grows throughout the winter season. The winter solstice only takes place in a moment of time. The moment the Earth's axis tilts half up towards the sun and half away is actually the moment solstice actually happens. The term solstice is derived from the Latin word sol, or sun, and sister, meaning to stand still. Translated, solstice means sun stands still. Many contemporary traditions date back to the Celts, Vikings, Saxons, and the pagans of Old Europe. The original meanings were sometimes changed by the early church, but many still honor these traditions and their meanings. The evergreen tree we bring into our homes to symbolize eternal life. The greenery shaped in a circle that we hang on our doors for protection. And once we add candles to it, it symbolizes the elements of earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Holly and ivy reminds us to balance our negative and our positive thoughts. And mistletoe protects one from harm and brings forth peace and love. People around the world mark this time with the lighting of candles, bonfires, and fireplaces to symbolize the sun's growing light and the resilience of the planet and her creatures. In many regions, a special decorated log is first placed in the household's hearth to celebrate. In cities, hillsides, countrysides, and plains, the lighting of pathways or labyrinths with candles can be found. The spiritual side of solstice is incredibly important to many of us. Prayer sticks are made for blessings, dancing, and purification rituals by the Hopi, who welcome the Kachinas to bring back the sun. On Yelda night, the people in Iran read randomly from a special book celebrating the birth of the sun god Mithras. Dancing, singing, prayers, invocations, and readings happen during Inti Raymi in Peru, at Mayan ceremonies in Mexico, and at Stonehenge in England. And to last night, those of the Asatru and Teutonic traditions, Mudrasnak, or Mother's Night, was honored, celebrating the Great Mother and all of the moms of the world. Food is an important part of community celebrations around the world at solstice also, as friends and family gather. In China, during Dongzhi, people work to balance the positive and negative energies within themselves with hearty meals that include glutinous rice and lamb dumplings. Shoji celebrations in Japan include the eating of a hearty squash and taking hot baths with yuzu fruit. It's a citrus fruit. And in my husband's family, the tradition of the men of the household baking the German cookie recipes that have been handed down over generations continues. There are so many traditions around the world that are new to many of us that celebrate this sacred night. We can't possibly go over them all tonight, that's for sure. But you're welcome to explore them on the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans website at cuups.org. Or you can go visit the Circle Sanctuary website and visit and see more information about holidays and holy days. The brightest of blessings to each of you on this solstice night, and may your houses be warmed and may your hearts be full. Blessed be.
Thank you, Reverend Jerry. And Hola, I have one depiction of her. is sometimes known as Frau Holla or Holda, and the winter solstice goddess she is in many traditions. And yes, some traditions rooted in old Germany, the Modra night, the Mother's Night, and some will celebrate that winter solstice eve last night, and some are celebrating tonight, and some actually will celebrate her night on Christmas Eve and on 12th night. So definitely a winter solstice goddess for this time of year. She is said to ride the night. And if you rode with Holla, you had magic in your life. I have done quite a bit of research into my own ancestral pathways, and because I have a patchwork quilt of ancestral connections, every Yule I will select one of the countries or cultures that I know I have ancestors from, and not only look at what lore might date back to old pagan times, but I look at ways that some traditions have made their way up into contemporary times, including within Christianity and some other faith traditions. The mothers, the three mothers, are sometimes depicted this way, a combination of old Germanic goddess honoring as well as a time of connecting with her in a multicultural way. And this particular image of the mothers for Mother's Night has Germanic as well as Roman woven into it. So I bring these particular mother goddesses rooted in old Germany, images of them, to celebrate motherhood in many ways and to honor the Great Mother connected with solstice time and with our planet and the universe. Holla and mothers, be with us and guide us, and let us honor those mothers in our own lives, living and those who have gone before, grandmothers and great-grandmothers. And let us continue the tradition of celebrating this sacred time in old ways and in some new ways. So be it.
There are several civilizations in the frozen north who venerate and worship and raise and care for the reindeer. There are also those who believe that the Deer Mother, or Ellen, was the first creator of the pathways and protector of the ways. It is said that on the longest night in the depth of winter, she sends out all of her kin to collect every spark of light that they can find and bring it to her so that she can carry it protectively in her antlers into the coming dawn. They sing songs and celebrate into the night, offering cakes and ale to sustain her in her journey, the drums echoing on the wind. Finally, the time has come all through the world. The reindeer and roe deer and elk spread the word. Go forth, find pieces and sparks of the light, and bring them to Ellen, for she flies this night. Dear mother, run through the night. Horn mother, great mother, safeguard the light. Dear mother, forge the path true. Horn mother, great mother, life lives through you. stars to guide her, the lamplights to shine, warm sails drifting upward, butter, cakes and spice, music and laughter floating on the wind, bolsters the long flight of our great mother hen. Dear mother, run through the night, hoy mother, great mother, safeguard the light. Dear mother, forge the path true, hoy mother, great mother, life lives through you. Dear mother, run through the night, hoy mother, great mother, safeguard the light. Dear mother, forge the path true, hoy mother, great mother, life lives through you. Helen, great dear mother, all life lives through you.
As I mentioned before, I am out of my element from this solstice season. And I was drawn to a poem from Erica Burkhalter, who is a writer and a yoga and meditation instructor who's based in California, but she was moved to write this poem when she was in Norway, Goddess Rising. I once saw her slip from the sea on a solstice evening, a satin heaving of breast and thigh, rising against an Indian silk sky, dancing on the sheen of Arctic waters. The fabric of time, of seasons stretched and tightened in rhythm with the stinking troughs and the rising cresting waves. And here and there a woman's form emerged, a dip of shoulder, a toe of stone, an eye of light winking from unfathomable depths. They say, you see, that it's pure luck to catch a glimpse of the goddess rising on the eve of winter's breath. I caught myself dissolving, melting into the swell of the moment when time stands still. And I almost fell into that writhing, rising sea, from thirsting for a better glimpse of the nymph of the waters, the one who is the daughter and the mother of all that ever will be. She stretched and sighed, and the fabric shifted, rippled gold dripping across the curve of a bosom, gathering into a waste of spilt ink indigo. And then she was gone. They say that she chooses this moment, suspended in time between sunset and sunrise, to appear, to break free from one world, to hurl time forward by a season, just by tossing her glance across the waters. And if you're fortunate enough to see her, you will be forever changed.
I'd like to share with you a chant that comes from the Gaelic language. And Gaelic, like many other ancient languages, the words often have many meanings. So these chants are called fauns, F-O-N-N. And faun can mean a song, a chant. It also means a state of mind, because these are often chanted until one feels a shift in consciousness. And it also means the land. So it means song, a chant, a state of mind, and it refers to the land. And this one is called Avahar Ye Jolus Halve. And the meaning of it is, O Earth Mother or Earth Mother Goddess, your earthly light. And the word for light, Diolas, can mean light. It also means wisdom, and it also means magic. So when we chant this faun, we're connecting the womb of our heart with the light in the womb of the earth, and just feeling that connection between the light in our hearts and the light within our Earth Mother. Avahuye Diolu Salve. 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 Avahuye Diolu Salve.
Hello. My offering is St. Lucy lore and a chant. St. Lucy, also known as Lucina, Lucia, Luce, and other versions of the name, means light bringer. She is venerated as a saint in Catholic, Anglican, Lutheran, and Eastern Orthodox Christianity. St. Lucy was born in Italy in the year 283, and it is said Lucy brought food and comfort to the Christians hiding in the underground cemeteries and catacombs. In order to carry as much food as possible to the hiding Christians, Lucy donned a candlelit wreath upon her head to light her path. For it was a dangerous time in the Roman Empire to practice Christianity, as they were hunted, stripped of their rights, brutalized, and killed. Although the stories vary somewhat about why Lucy was murdered on December 13th in the year 304 at age 21, the most common theme is that Lucy dedicated herself to Christ and to serving the poor, which angered the pagan to whom she was betrothed. He denounced her as a Christian to the authorities, who then attempted first to drag her to a house of prostitution, and then, when they could not physically move her, they tried to burn her, which was also a failure. Ultimately, they ended St. Lucy's life with a dagger or a sword to her throat. In another part of the legend, St. Lucy's eyes were gouged out, and then God provided her with new eyes. This came about, it is said, because her pagan suitor loved her beautiful eyes. In some versions of this story, St. Lucy plucked out her own eyes and gave them to her suitor. And in other versions, her eyes were removed by her persecutors. St. Lucy is often depicted holding a small plate with two eyes on it. She is the patron saint of the blind. As I mentioned earlier, Lucy means bringer of light. And besides her association with eyesight, she is associated with the winter solstice and the return of the light and the return of the sun. In the Gregorian calendar, the winter solstice fell on December 13th, the day Lucy was martyred for her Christian beliefs. Christian missionaries went to Scandinavia, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and Finland proselytizing. And one of the stories they brought with them was the tradition of St. Lucy, which is now very deeply rooted in the Lutheran Nordic culture, where her story is a mixture of Christian and pagan lore. On December 13th in Norway and other Scandinavian countries, a young girl representing St. Lucy wears a crown of candles on her head dons a white dress with a red sash. She leads a procession and is trailed by handmaidens, star boys, lantern-carrying gingerbread boys and girls, and Christmas elves. As well as being the bearer of light, Lucy offers saffron buns and coffee to her family and friends. The saffron buns are called lucicotters or Lucy cats because their shape represents a curled up cat. The tradition of baking lucicotters for St. Lucy Day originally stems from 17th century Germany. The devil, the fallen angel known as Lucifer, also meaning light bringer, would appear in the shape of a cat and spank naughty children, while a Christ-like figure would hand out buns to children who had been good. To keep Lucifer away, who was afraid of the light, bakers would make Yuletide buns flavored with saffron, a spice of bright orange-red stigmas found in the center of the saffron crocus that produces a bright yellow, shiny color in the buns. Alongside midsummer, Lucy celebrations represent one of the foremost cultural traditions in Scandinavia, and they are spreading around the world with the clear reference to life in peasant or pagan communities of old. Darkness and light, cold and warmth. Lucy is an ancient mythical figure, dare I say goddess, with an abiding role as a bearer of light to long, cold, dark winters and the promise of the return of the sun. On a personal note, December 14th, 2011, 12 years ago, a litter of German Shepherd puppies were born, and I had the privilege of adopting one of those females, and I named her Lucina, the bringer of light. I also started making Lucy buns shortly after my Lucy came home to us, and she gets to eat one on her birthday every year. My Lucy brings love and light into our household every day. I chose her name after listening to Ruth Barrett's Lucina chant, which I now offer an adapted version. Celebrate the birth of the sun, light the way, O Lucina, dance around on solstice night, blessed be the great mother. Celebrate the birth of the sun, light the way, O Lucina, dance around on Sabbath night, blessed be the great mother. Celebrate the birth of the sun, light the way, O Lucina, dance around on solstice night. Blessed be the great mother.
Tonight, I bring you a poem by T.S. Eliot because the special part of this season is we are waiting for the light, and we are waiting for the next part for the light to return. So this is again from T.S. Eliot, and also a chant derived from that. I said to my soul, be still and wait without hope. For hope would be hope for the wrong thing. Wait without hope, wait without love. For love would be love of the wrong thing. There is yet faith, but the faith and the love and the hope are all in the waiting. Wait without thought, for you are not ready for thought. So the darkness shall be the light, and the stillness the dancing, whisper of running streams and winter lightning, the wild thyme unseen and the wild strawberry, the laughter in the garden, echoed ecstasy, not lost, but requiring, pointing to the agony of death and birth. And so the reclaiming tradition has something called Winter Witch Camp. And apparently it was during one of these winter witch caps that this chant was developed spontaneously based on this poem. And it goes like this. So I said to myself, be still and wait till the darkness becomes the light, and the stillness, the dancing, then the stillness, the dancing. So I said to myself, be still and wait till the darkness becomes the light, and the stillness, the dancing, and the stillness, the dancing. So I said to myself, be still and wait till the darkness becomes the light, and the stillness, the dancing, and the stillness, the dancing. Blessed be.
Thank you, Steve. And then there's Santa Claus. Oh my goodness. Anywhere you go in the world, no matter what religious or spiritual tradition people are or not, everybody knows Santa Claus by a variety of names. You've got Santa Claus, Father Christmas, England, Bishop Nicholas from Turkey, Odin from Norway, Kris Kringle from Austria, Germany, Saint Nick. Go ahead, you can name them all. We could name them all right here, and it would be like a potpourri of the iconic Santa Claus. And even older is representing pagan spirits who fly through the night during solstice and Yuletide. So I wanted to share with you one of my favorite chestnuts called Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. You know it. You can keep your sound off, but sing it to yourself as I'm singing it. And, you know, the songwriters were Robert Wells, Mel Torme, and it was popularized originally in America by the great Nat King Cole. And I have taken liberty with Merry Christmas instead calling it Yuletide because, hey, it's solstice. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I'm going to start again. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir. And folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows tofurkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeers really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Happy Yuletide to you. So however you celebrate, may you enjoy the warmth and the magic that song always conveys. Happy Yuletide to you.
So one of the things that happened when people gathered together at this time of the year, in the times before mass media and entertainment systems, etc., stories would be told and shared amongst the people who were gathered. I've been writing stories around solstice time for many years, and tonight I debut the latest in that series called A Return to That Strange Night. It had been a tough few years. The plague had come among us in 2020, bringing isolation. Events that had once been in person were transitioned to be held in the virtual world. The continuation of these events was needed for certain, but there was a big difference to the experience from times past. I too had succumbed to the isolation. Going out and being among people took a lot more energy than it had before. Whether this was due to the plague, getting older, or a combination of things, I cannot say. I just knew it was so. Yet this year, I knew I had to do something different. In years past, I had observed this longest night with friends. We would gather in a circle. We would reenact the dying of the light at sunset by extinguishing candles till the room we were in was dark. There would be drumming and singing in the darkness as we reached out to the sun to call it back. Then, after a time, a single candle would be lit as a sign that the light would be reborn at sunrise. I'd done this rite or variations of it with many people over the years. Those people were now distant from me in both miles and in circumstance. I could not gather with them this year, but I would revisit the past in my memories. I prepared my space. I set up a comfortable chair with a small round table in front of it. On the table, I would create a circle of 12 votive candles, and in the center, a large jar candle that smelled of cedar and spruce. Nearby was my drum and my flute. These I would play in the dark as my way of calling the light back. In final preparation, I lit all the candles and let the scent of the large one fill the room. The space was ready. Was I? Settling into my chair, I took a few moments just to let it sink in. Taking some deep breaths to shift from one way of thinking to another, I began my rite. Each of my 12 candles I would use as a focus to bring back a memory of celebrations gone. The first memory was an odd one, for it was of a time when the path I followed was different than the one I traveled now. Different, yet sharing a deep inner message that was in harmony. I recalled standing with my parents and my sister around an evergreen wreath with 4 candles already ablaze and a white pillar candle in the center. I would be the one to light the center candle this year. I would become the light bringer, the herald that announced the birth of a son whose story is about bringing light into the world. With the next candle, the memory that came was certainly a special one. I stood in a circle of friends and acquaintances. Beside me was one who I've known in many lives. Our hands were wrapped in the cord of our hand fasting as together we enacted the rite of light's return. I will not relate all the memories I relived as I extinguished my circle, as some were fleeting and others too intimate to share. Finally, as the darkness was complete in the world outside, I extinguished my final candle. The darkness had come. I reached for my flute and played a quick succession of tunes, some known, others created on the spot. Then I reached for my drum and started a slow, simple rhythm. I was surprised to have another memory intrude on me from the past as I did this. It was a night much like this one, with a gathering of friends, who as the sun set began to drum. From that moment till the rising of the sun the next day, a drum beat of some sort would continue all night. I took this as a sign that the drumming rite would need to be reenacted sometime in the coming years. Finally, my hands grew weary, and I stopped to sit for a while in the darkness. I looked within to feel the spirit of this season. I can't say it was quiet, as the sounds of the outside world did its best to intrude, yet I simply did not acknowledge them. I closed my eyes, and and at some point I must have drifted, as the next thing I recall was being in a different place. Looking out, I could see I was in a high place, and the world was lit only with stars. Before me was a bonfire, and around it I began to notice other people suddenly appearing. It must have been cold, as there was snow on the ground, but I did not feel the cold. Either the heat of the fire or some other inner fire kept me warm. Directly across from me there was a young man, and he appeared to be chanting. I could not hear him with my ears, but in my head his words were clear. Light is returning. Light is returning. I took up his chant, and so did all of those others gathered around. This continued for quite a while, yet I know not how long. The next thing I recall was the young man looking directly at me, and I was shocked, for the eyes that shone in that firelight I knew very well. I had seen them every day staring back at me from the mirror. He nodded in acknowledgement of this understanding I had just received. Then he turned to the direction I took to be the east, as there was a lightning in the sky in that direction. All in the circle turned that way, just in time to catch the first fiery spark of the returning sun as it came over the horizon. I returned to myself with a start and found I was back in my dark room. I reached for a match and relit my central candle, for though in the part of the world in which I now lived, sunrise was still many hours off, I knew yet that the light had returned. Sleep did not come easily after that, for I wished to return to that strange night in that other time. And perhaps next year I will.
Thank you, Chris. That was beautiful. I'm going to offer a solstice carol. The Weird Sisters wrote this and first performed it. I've found many iterations, but I'm going to use the Weird Sisters. A fire is burning, the long night draws near. All who need comfort are welcomed by here. We'll dance 'neath the stars and toast the past year, for the spirit of solstice is still living here. We'll count all our blessings as the mother lays down snow as her blanket, covering the ground. Praise to the mother for the life that she brings. She'll waken to warm us again in the spring. The poor and the hungry, the sick and the lost, these are our children, no matter the cost. Come by the fire, our harvest to share, for the spirit of solstice is still living here. Well, thank you.
Wonderful. One of our traditions for longest night has been to join together and to do a working magic, prayer, affirmation, focused intention. Goes by many names in different places and different traditions. Planet Earth, our home, deserves our respect and attention and care. Winter solstice and summer solstice, for half the world has that coming on. We need to find good ways for us as humans to connect with each other and the rest of the natural world, and to mitigate our harmful impacts on the environment. There are many things to pray for, to make magic about on this solstice night. Some may want to do prayers for peace, and clearly there are places around the planet where war rages on. Some may want to do prayers for those displaced by climate events, by war, by other forces. Some may want to do blessings for particular places and situations, particular peoples, creatures, plants, ecosystems. In a few moments, Chris will be playing his magical flute. And as that happens, I invite you to experience yourself sending healing to the planet as a whole. In your own way, as the flute plays, create your own wish for healing and wellness for planet Earth, for humankind, for creatures, for plants, for ecosystems, for the elements. Let this nexus point, as this old solar year passes and dies, and the new solar year arrives in a short time from now, let us dispel what no longer serves, and let us call into ourselves, into our community, and into our planet healing and well-being. Healing and wellness to planet Earth. Healing and wellness to planet Earth. Healing and wellness to planet Earth. At this Yuletide, at this solstice time, and in times to come. So mote it be. Aho, Amen, Ashe, Namaste, Salam, Shalom, blessed be.
As the wheel of the year brings us to the winter solstice, we find ourselves in a time of rest, hibernation, and cold, blustery days as the longest night approaches. Our daylight hours become shorter, and the nights become so much longer and darker that we could sometimes believe that it is so dark and so cold that the sun could not possibly rise again. And we wait with the mother, the goddess, grown heavy with child from the celebrations of life at Beltane in the springtime. And we sing songs of belief and celebration, sharing stories of the return of the sun in years past, spreading warmth and the joy of hope as we wait with her through the longest and darkest night of the winter solstice for the birth of her son, our returning son, the God reborn. This is Yule Song. stand before you, Holy Mother, shining bright among the stars, patiently waiting through the long night for your Son to be reborn. Ancient fires brightly burning as a beacon calling home. Our newborn Sky King comes with the dawning. Hail the Mother, hail the Son. Deck the halls with evergreens cut from our mighty Yule log, placed against the fire back in the hearth. Light the fires and keep them burning against the worst that Jack Frost brings to chill the bone and freeze the heart. Give with love gifts from that heart that will live on in memories much longer than any mere toy. Winter's flowers soon will bloom, warmed by our mother's sun and coaxed along by nature's throbbing song. We stand before you, Holy Mother, shining bright here on the earth, patiently waiting through the long night for our Son to be reborn. Sacred fires burning brightly as a beacon call us home, bathing in her moonlight, basking in his sunlight. Hail the Mother, hail the Son. Hail the Mother, hail the Son. Oh, hail the Mother, hail the Son.
Thank you, Maren. And best wishes to you and your brand new album with songs that take you around the wheel of the year and some more Yule magic that will be coming. I give thanks to everybody who has joined us tonight. I give thanks for the sharing of stories and traditions and lore from many different cultures and faith traditions. And let us give thanks to the Sun by whatever name or names we might honor the Sun. Sacred Sun, as Father, as Mother, as Spirit, as the light that's within us and around us. We give thanks to the elements, to the sacred earth, the sacred air, the sacred fire, the sacred water, the sacred spirit. We give thanks to the land, the places where we are tonight doing this celebration, and cyberspace. And we give thanks to those who have gone before, our ancestors, the ancient ones. And we give thanks to that larger universe of which we are a part, and planet Earth our home. We give thanks for community. And as we prepare to depart this circle, let joy, resilience, hope, connection, love from this circle going into your lives, into the lives of others you connect with at this solstice time. We give thanks for the sacred north, east, south, west, that which is below, above, that which is in the center, within and around. We give thanks to the divine as one and as many. All those Yuletide and solstice time goddesses and gods and folk figures and the spirit of love. Circle of light, circle of sound, circle of solstice that has circled around. Though it's time for this circle to be open, it's never broken. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again, as we take some of that light that we have cast around us into ourselves as we go forth into our solstice time and the new solar year. Make peace on earth, make peace within, at the sun's rebirth and round the wheel again. Blessings of magic of solstice past, magic of solstice future, magic of solstice present, magic of solstice now. Let the love and the connection that you have experienced in this circle continue to shine within you and around you, now and in times to come. So be it. Now I invite all of us to raise our candles high, and those of you who may be watching, if you have a candle, wherever you are, I invite you to hold it up as well. And if you don't have a candle, imagining that you do. So let this sacred solstice light go with us in longest night. Sacred solstice light going to bless this longest night. Sacred solstice light, bless this longest night and the new solar year. So be it. We wish you a merry solstice. We wish you a merry solstice. We wish you a merry solstice and a happy new year. Thank you all for being with us, and we invite you to continue to connect with Circle Sanctuary via our website and social media. And yes, every month we do a full moon circle. It's free, it's open to the public, it's streamed on YouTube. And on Tuesday, December 26th, we will have our next full moon circle, Yuletide Rebels Full Moon Circle. So we invite you to join us for that. Shine on, bright blessings. So be it.